On the distant Moluccas Islands, lost in the vast expanses of Indonesia, traditions exist that can surprise even the most seasoned traveler. Here, where azure waves meet the emerald green of tropical forests and time seems to flow by its own rules, wedding ceremonies take on a completely special, unlike any other color. Imagine, instead of a secluded bed and quiet declarations of love, the young couple finds themselves in the spotlight of the entire village, ready to witness their first wedding night. Sounds incredible, doesn't it? But behind this apparent extravagance lies a deep meaning rooted in the ancient beliefs and social structure of these amazing islands. What makes the inhabitants of the Moluccas Islands resort to such an unusual custom? What role does this ritual play in the life of the community, and how does it affect the fate of the newlyweds? Let's embark on a fascinating journey through the Moluccas Islands together to unravel the mysteries of this unique wedding rite and understand its place in the rich culture of this region. Let's immerse ourselves in a world where traditions and modernity intertwine in a whimsical dance, and every custom is a reflection of the people's centuries-old history and wisdom. The wedding night in front of the entire village is not just a shocking spectacle, but a complex and multifaceted ritual with deep roots in the culture and history of the Moluccas Islands. To understand its essence, one must turn to anthropological research and study the social structure of local communities. In traditional societies, similar to those on the Moluccas Islands, marriage is viewed not only as a union of two people, but also as a union of two families, two clans, two communities. This event is of great importance for the entire social structure, as it determines future offspring, strengthens ties between families, and ensures the continuity of traditions. In this context, the publicity of the wedding night can be seen as a way to ensure the legitimacy of the marriage and guarantee that the union will be concluded in accordance with accepted norms and customs. The presence of the entire village acts as a kind of control and confirmation that everything is happening correctly and without violations. Furthermore, it may be linked to beliefs in fertility and the continuation of the lineage. It is believed that the presence of the community and its blessing contributes to the birth of healthy and strong children who will become the continuation of the lineage and the support for their family and village. This custom can also be viewed as a form of social adaptation to the living conditions on the islands. In small, isolated communities, where every person plays an important role in maintaining life, any events concerning individual members become the concern of the entire collective. The public wedding night, therefore, is a way to integrate the newlyweds into the community and confirm their belonging to it. It is a symbolic act of acceptance that allows them to feel like part of a whole and receive support from their fellow villagers. It is worth noting that similar customs related to the public display of marital relations are found in other cultures around the world. For example, in some African tribes, there are rituals where elders or family members observe the first wedding night to ensure the bride's virginity and the groom's ability to procreate. In other cultures, wedding ceremonies include elements that imitate the wedding night, such as when the newlyweds must demonstrate their love and intimacy in front of guests. However, the Moluccan custom is distinguished by its extreme degree of publicity and lack of any privacy. This makes it unique and requires special attention in its study and interpretation. It is important to understand that this ritual is not a manifestation of cruelty or disrespect towards the newlyweds, but rather a complex and multifaceted social phenomenon with deep roots in the culture and history of the Moluccas Islands. To understand exactly how the wedding night takes place in front of the village, one must consider the details of this rite. According to eyewitness accounts and ethnographic research, it all begins with thorough preparation. The newlyweds undergo special purification and blessing rituals, which are intended to prepare them for the upcoming night and ensure them a happy family life. Then, in the center of the village, a special platform or hut is built, decorated with flowers and leaves. This is where the wedding night will take place. At the appointed hour, the entire village gathers around the platform,
Men, women, old and young, everyone wants to witness this important event. The newlyweds, dressed in traditional attire, ascend the platform to the sounds of drums and chanting. They perform ritual dances and ceremonies that symbolize their love and devotion to each other. After this, the wedding night itself begins. Despite the presence of the entire village, the newlyweds try to maintain dignity and respect for each other. They communicate in whispers, hold hands, and exchange tender glances. The village elders ensure that everything proceeds in accordance with traditions and customs. They may offer advice and guidance to the newlyweds, helping them overcome shyness and nervousness.
It is important to note that the purpose of this ritual is not voyeurism or satisfying anyone's curiosity. The main task is to provide the support and blessing of the community for the newlyweds and their future offspring. The presence of the village creates an atmosphere of unity and solidarity, which helps the newlyweds feel like part of a whole and gain confidence in their abilities. After the wedding night is completed, the newlyweds receive congratulations and gifts from all members of the village. It is believed that this brings them luck and happiness in their married life. They become full members of the community and gain new responsibilities and privileges.
Sure, a custom like this might raise questions and confusion for people from other cultures. However, it's important to remember that every culture has its own unique traditions and customs that deserve respect and understanding. The wedding night in front of the village isn't just a shocking spectacle. It's a complex and multifaceted social phenomenon with deep roots in the culture and history of the Moluccas Islands. Over time, influenced by globalization and modern values, traditional customs in the Moluccas Islands are changing. Many young people are opting out of the public wedding night, preferring more private ways to celebrate their weddings. However, in some remote villages, this custom is still alive and remains an important part of their cultural heritage.
Preserving and studying traditions like these is incredibly important for understanding the evolution of human societies and how the environment impacts cultural development. They show us how different peoples adapt to their living conditions and create unique forms of social organization. The wedding night in front of the village in the Moluccas Islands aspect. By studying such traditions, we can gain a better understanding of ourselves and the world around us.
A natural question arises: how do the people of the Moluccas Islands themselves feel about this unusual custom? There's no single answer here, as opinions are divided. The older generation, raised in tradition, sees this ritual as a vital part of their cultural heritage and a necessary condition for marriage. They believe the community's presence and blessing ensure the newlyweds a happy family life and healthy offspring. However, the younger generation, exposed to modern culture, approaches this custom with more caution and skepticism. Many consider it outdated and out of sync with contemporary values. They prefer more private wedding celebrations and don't want their personal lives on public display. As a result, the Moluccas Islands are experiencing a unique generational conflict. The older generation strives to preserve traditions and pass them down, while the younger generation seeks change and new forms of self-expression. This conflict mirrors broader trends seen in many traditional societies grappling with the influence of globalization and modernity. Nevertheless, even those young people who opt out of the public wedding night acknowledge the importance of preserving cultural heritage and respecting ancestral traditions. They try to find a balance between modern values and ancient customs, creating new wedding celebration styles that blend traditional elements with contemporary trends. For instance, some newlyweds perform traditional ceremonies and rituals before the wedding, but skip the public wedding night. Others hold small gatherings for close family and friends, still incorporating elements of traditional culture like national costumes, dances, and music. Overall, the attitude of the Moluccas Islanders toward the wedding night in front of the village reflects a complex process of adapting to modern life and searching for new forms of self-identity. It's a process that requires respect for ancestral traditions and an openness to new ideas and values. In conclusion,
The wedding night in front of the village in the Moluccas Islands is a unique and multifaceted social phenomenon deeply rooted in the region's culture and history. This custom is more than just a shocking spectacle. It's a complex ritual aimed at securing the community's support and blessings for the newlyweds and their future descendants. Over time, influenced by globalization and modern values, this custom is evolving. However, even those young people who opt out of the public wedding night recognize the importance of preserving cultural heritage and respecting ancestral traditions.
Studying traditions like these is incredibly important for understanding the evolution of human societies and how the environment impacts cultural development. They show us how different peoples adapt to their living conditions and create unique forms of social organization. The wedding night in front of the village in the Moluccas Islands is a prime example of how traditions and customs can shape people's lives and influence their worldview. It's a unique social phenomenon that deserves attention and respect. By studying such traditions, we can gain a better understanding of ourselves and the world around us. It's a journey into the depths of human culture, full of unexpected discoveries and profound reflections on human nature and our place in the world.